Felicia. Welcome, everyone. So many people from all across the country. I'm coming from you. I'm coming to you from Northern Virginia, where our kids just went back to school. So our snow days are now over. So welcome to Hello Cricut. We are going to do a presentation that's going to walk you through the whole Cricut universe, and give you some explanation of how you can work with your Cricut machine, or if you're interested in getting a Cricut machine, which one is the right one for you. So we'll start off with some slides. Please feel free. I will try and keep my eye on the Q&A. So if you have a specific question, please feel to pop it in there. We'll have Anita who will be typing on the back end, and I'll answer some of those questions live as well. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump in and get started. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll go ahead and get started. Here we go. Let me make that big. All right. So this class today is Hello Cricut. My name is Kesley Anderson, and this class is going to give you a walkthrough and an overview of your Cricut machine and just the Cricut ecosystem, if you will. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I love this quote from Brene Brown. It says, "We are born makers. We move what we're learning from our heads to our hearts through our hands." And each one of you is uniquely creative with your own creative spark and your own creative goals. And we really sort of start off with our ideas in our heads. We get a vision that we want to bring to life, and we move that into our hands, and we're crafting with our hearts. So I think that this quote is just encompasses so much of what Cricut does for me and how Cricut speaks to me as a crafter. So the eternal question is, who should have a Cricut smart cutting machine? And I really think everyone should have a Cricut smart cutting machine. As you get started looking into a Cricut, which is the right one for you, how does it work? What are the parts and the pieces? It can be a little overwhelming. So my cocktail party pitch for what a Cricut machine does is it allows you to create an image or design on your computer and then send it to your machine. So you can think of it sort of like a printer. The difference between a printer and a Cricut machine is the Cricut machine actually cuts the image out of the material that you've selected. And it just helps you take your projects faster, so you get done quicker, you can be more creative, and then you get to enjoy the projects that you create sooner and give to other people. Now you can use your Cricut. Anyone can use a Cricut machine at any craft level. So you don't have to be super creative. If you don't feel like you have super creativity, you can still use your Cricut machine. And I see people of all ages using a Cricut machine and how they work with it. So let's dive in a little bit and do an introduction to the families of Cricut machines. There's 3 different groups of Cricut machines. The first one is Cricut Joy, and then you have a grouping called Explore machines, and the last grouping is the Maker. So we'll go into each machine and talk about what each machine does and what you can create with your different machines. Now, I have to warn you all, I do get a little passionate about my Cricut machines because I can create so much with them. Like, we all have our weaknesses, right? So don't be afraid to explore the different machines, because each one will fit best for different situations. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Cricut Joy. And the Cricut Joy is really, it's a small, compact machine. It's very simple, but it's really great for any type of personalization, organization, and customization. It's small and compact, so it's great to pull out for a quick project, like cards, labels, and vinyl stickers. It's easy to take with you wherever you go, again, because it's like so super small and lightweight, and you can easily tuck it away when you're done. So if you have apartment living or you don't have very much space for your crafting, the Cricut Joy could be the perfect machine for you. Now, some of the key features of the Cricut Joy is obviously its compact size. It's 3.9 pounds. It's the smallest machine that we have, and it's just perfect to tuck away into a cubbyhole space. The Cricut Joy cuts 50 plus materials, and you can do super long cuts. You can cut shapes up to 4 feet long or projects up to 20 feet long. Now you can, and it's also compatible with Joy Smart materials. So, and the suggested retail price of the Cricut Joy is $149. So let's talk a little bit about some of the projects you can create with your Cricut Joy. So the Cricut Joy is, I call it my DIY best friend. It's like my bestie. It's small. It works anywhere. I can decide, oh, I need to organize my kitchen cabinets. I can pull out my Cricut Joy, have it in the kitchen on the counter, do my organization labels and things like that. Like down here, these flour, the oats, and the sugar. You can just pull out that Cricut Joy and organize right in the closet with you, or at your desk if you need to create some labels for your desk. Now, Cricut Joy has a very unique type of vinyl that you can actually use a Cricut Joy pen and write on that vinyl, creating a label. Cricut Joy is also perfect for the card maker. We have these unique Cricut Joy cutting mats that allow you to take a folded card, like this one up in the upper right corner, and create a folded card in minutes. So like if you're headed out the door for a birthday party and you realize you forgot the card, you can create a very unique, one-of-a-kind type of card. Cricut Joy also works with vinyl and iron-on, so you could create vinyl stickers or t-shirts with the different types of vinyl. Now, the next family member are the Cricut Explore machines. So there's 2 versions that you'll see at Michael's. There's Cricut Explore Air 2 and the Cricut Explore 3. So both of these machines are available at Michael's. And I see Susan is asking a question about the Joy. What width of vinyl can be used on the Cricut Joy? So the Cricut Joy has its own unique rolls of vinyl that are about 5 inches wide, and it cuts 4-inch wide vinyl. You can use smart material, which uses a mat, or you can just use regular design vinyl and place it on a mat. Let me say that again, because I think I said that wrong. Cricut Joy works with smart material, and that is material vinyl that does not require a cutting mat. Cricut Joy also does have its own cutting mat, so you can put other types of vinyl on the cut mat to cut. So you can use smart materials or regular vinyl. Either way will work in the Cricut Joy. And that's also going to be the same case with the next models of our cutters that I show you. So let's talk about the Cricut Explore machines. Now you'll notice that Cricut Explore Air 2 has the word air in it. And it was the first machine that was compatible with Bluetooth. So the Cricut Explore Air 2 allowed you to craft away from your computer or your device. You could craft in your family room, you could craft in your living room, and it connected to your computer or your tablet device using Bluetooth. And since then, all of our different machines, the Cricut Joy and the Explore and the Maker, are all Bluetooth compatible. So you don't have to be wired in. So to connect via Bluetooth, When you turn on your machine and you open up Design Space, it will prompt you through the prompts to hook up with Bluetooth. And you just need to do that with whatever device you're using. You hook up your machine first with Bluetooth, and then you can create away with it. So the Cricut Explore Air really makes your DIY dreams come true. It's our best-selling machine. It's a very classic, I call it the classic cutting machine because it's our most popular style of cutting machine. Now, it is a bit bigger than the Cricut Joy. So the Cricut Joy cuts at a 4.5-inch width. The Cricut Explore Air 2 cuts at 11.5-inch width. And it cuts more materials. So you can cut over 100 different materials with the Cricut Airs. So if you're interested in paper crafting or making t-shirts, stickers, school projects, this is the great cutting machine for you. It's sort of like an all-purpose cutting machine. Like my kids used it when they had to do their science boards and all different types of school projects. And my son is now in college and he still has a Cricut machine that he took to college with him. So it really is quite a user-friendly, robust machine. But let's take a look at it a little bit closer. So the Cricut Explore cuts over 100 different materials. You can cut cardstock and vinyl, all of your basic materials, and even go beyond to glitter paper and some leather and some fabrics using different blades. The Cricut Explore will write, draw, and score. It also works with compatible with 6 different tools. So you have the premium fine point blade, the deep point blade, the bonded fabric blade, the scoring stylus, the foil transfer tool, and the writing tools. The suggested retail price for the Explore Air 2 is $227. Okay, sorry, oops. You guys are asking lots of great questions. I hope Anita is able to keep up with you. I'm trying to look too. So when you look inside, you will see inside of the Explore a dual housing system. This system has an A clamp and a B clamp. So this is where it varies quite a bit from the Cricut Joy. The Cricut Joy only uses 1 clamp. The 2 clamp system allows you to cut and draw and write at the same time using the same project. Doesn't do it at the same time, but it allows you to do it with the same project. So the B clamp here is where you can insert different tools that will help with your Explore and cutting a wider variety of materials. So there's the deep point blade, which allows you to cut thicker materials. There's a bonded fabric blade, which allows you to cut fabric that has been bonded. You can add the foil transfer tool and then the regular fine point tool, all go into the B clamp. In your A clamp, you would add your stylus for scoring, and your writing tools go into the A clamp. And each of the tools are sold separately. It comes with the fine point blade, but all of the additional tools are sold separately. And they work across the Explore Air 2 and the Explore 3. So if you had an Air 2 and you're upgrading to an Explore 3, all of your tools can work on those different machines. Now, as we slide over to the left side on the Air 2, you'll notice there is a power button and a place to hold all of your tools. And then as you slide across to the right side, you'll see that this one has a dial. And that's really what makes the Explore Air 2 different from the other machines is the materials dial. So what the material dial does is it allows you to set some quick material choices. Now, granted, the Explore cuts over 100 materials and the dial has about 10 or 15 different materials you can do. So they've added the custom feature, which allows you to go into Design Space and choose all of the other types of materials that you might want to cut with. Okay, now Explore Air also uses a variety of mats to cut the materials. And this is again where it's going to differentiate with the Explore 3 machine. So the Explore Air uses these, see this green mat here, this is your cutting mat and it's got cardstock or vinyl on it to cut out. You can use 4 different cutting mats, all for different types of applications. The green is the standard one and the one I use most. But if I'm cutting like bonded fabric, I would use the pink fabric mat. The mats come in a 12 by 12 size and a 12 by 24 size. So with the Explore Air 2, the longest cut you can make is 24 inches. So these are a couple of my favorite projects on that were created with an Explore. You have the iron-on vinyl here, the shimmer vinyl, and the glitter vinyl. You can work with cardstock and create multi-dimensional images or flat cards if you'd like. You can use infusible ink and create these fun coasters and mugs. Again, you can write with your machine using the different Cricut pens, and you can create vinyls. So the amount of materials and the amount of supplies that are available for you to create with, you're really only limited by your own creativity and what you're willing to explore. So infusible ink might be something, a completely new type of material to work with, but something you're willing to try. And so that the Cricut Explore works with you and expands with you as you expand your crafting. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the Explore 3. And Andrea says she has the Explore 3 and would like to know how to use it. So you're in the perfect spot. The Explore 3 does everything that the Explore Air does. It works, but it's a little bit better because it's got some updated hardware as well as this new material called Smart Material. So let's talk a little bit about some of the sleek enhancements that have been added to the Explore 3. Now, the key features on the Explore 3 are that how it differs from the Air, the Explore Air. The Explore 3 is compatible with Smart Materials, and Smart Materials feed directly into the machine without using a cutting mat. So it's a load and go system. You can cut up to 12 feet long in one go. And I did this with some t-shirts I was making for a family reunion. And I cut, I think, like 9 different designs in about 15 minutes. I never had to change my material onto my mat. So my project went really quickly. The Explore 3 cuts 2 times faster than the regular Explore when you're using Smart Materials. It cuts the same number of materials as the Explore Air, so you still have 100 plus materials to cut. You can still write, draw, and score. And like I said, all the tools that work in the Explore Air also will work in the Explore 3. And the suggested retail for that is $299. Now, let's take a little bit of a walkthrough on the Explore 3. You'll notice that this one also has the dual tool holder, which allows you to write, score, draw, and cut on the same project. So you can create a greeting card if you want that you write. You'll write a sentiment on it, you'll score your scoring lines, and then you'll cut out your card and your designs. So all that will work, is similar to the Explore 2. And good questions, guys. Oh, someone says they have the Explore 2, not 3. No worries. If you look at your machine also, they've really enhanced the use of on-the-go crafting by allowing your tablet has a resting spot that can go right on your machine. So if you want to craft on your tablet and then cut it right out. You can do that in a very compact space. And I love the little, the holding ledge for your tablet device, and connect this. When I use my tablet device, I connect with Bluetooth to my machine. Now, on the right-hand side, you'll notice that there's no longer the dial. So the dial has been replaced with flat buttons that allow for the loading and unloading of your material, the power button, and the on and off switch. So all of that can be found on the right side. When I move over to the left side of the machine, oh, there's the overhead view of it. Let me go over to the left side here. You'll notice that I have 2 cups to hold my utensils, and this button here, which opens my machine. And it's such a pleasure to open your machine. It opens so nice and quietly. I love it. So the smart materials that I mentioned for the Explore 3, the smart materials require no cutting mat. You can just load it right into your machine. You can cut up to 12 feet. Smart materials work with the Joy, the Explore 3, and the Maker 3. And this one has, this picture here has the attachable material holder. It doesn't come with the machine, but you can attach that to the machine, and it will hold a really large roll of vinyl so that you can make a lot of cuts. Okay, now the Explore 3, like I said, does all that the Air 2 does. It does allow you to cut wider on smart material because your smart material is actually 13 inches. So you can go the full 12 feet versus the 11.5 inch. So it's perfect for planning to do longer projects, like if you want to customize a name on a home decor, or if you want to do banners, the longer material is great. Or if you're cutting a lot of the same image, like these t-shirts up here, that is perfect for your smart materials. That's when I really pull in my smart materials to do those really long designs. But you can still do your small customization of tumblers and little one-off projects in the Explore 3. Oh my goodness, so sorry guys. My finger got a little quick on my mouse there. So you can still do your one-off smaller projects on your Explore 3. So someone's asking, they're confused about smart materials. So smart materials, I will try and show those as we, again, later. But smart materials have a different backing. So smart materials, we have smart vinyl and we have smart cardstock. So our smart cardstock has an adhesive on the back, and they work without using a mat. So you can cut smart cardstock, smart vinyl, and smart iron-on, and it just allows you to put it in the machine without putting it on a cutting mat. So you can still use any other type of vinyl, any other type of material in your Explore 3, you just would put it onto a mat. So the benefit of the smart materials is you can see this huge roll right here, and you can cut, 90 feet in one, not in one go, but you can have a 90-foot roll that you can cut, and you don't have to take it on and off a mat. Now, there is a materials list on the website that lists out all the different materials that you can use in the different machines. Your basic materials, your iron-on, your vinyl, your cardstock, works across all 3 different machines. It's when you get into fancier materials like leather and things like that, that's when you want to go grab a machine that will take you to the next level. And the next level of machinery is the Maker. So let's meet the Maker. Okay, sorry, I want to make sure I've answered some of these questions. Okay, so the Maker. Okay, I'm going to pause before I go into the maker so I can kind of help answer some of these questions because they're really good questions that I'm sure you guys would all appreciate the answer to. So the Cricut, can the add-on holder work for the Explore 2? The Explore 2 doesn't have the same side pieces as the Explore 3 has, and the Explore 2 doesn't have the inner technology to cut the smart materials. So you would use the roll holder for your smart materials in the Explore 3 or the Maker 3. So the answer to that question is no, the add-on holder is not designed for the Explore 2. So smart materials, you can use the smart materials in a Explore 2 or the original Maker. You just would need to put them on the mat because the machines, the Explore Airs and the Maker machines aren't designed to feed the material in without having the mat underneath it. So you can use smart materials and just put it on your mat. So like sometimes if I've created something and I have a little bit of smart material left, like say a little 6x6 square, it's not big enough to fit in the machine without having a mat, but I can still use that mat and cut my materials. Okay. Yes, you can make tumblers with your Air 2. You can make tumblers on your Cricut Joy, and you can make tumblers with the Maker. It's just you're cutting out permanent vinyl to add to a tumbler, and that's how you do that. So do the smart materials come in all varieties? Jennifer, great question. Smart materials come in, we have smart cardstock, smart vinyl, and smart iron-on. Those three are the Cricut materials that go on that are smart materials. And smart vinyl and smart iron-on are two different materials. So the way that you apply those materials are different. And we will get into materials. So hold your, if you can hold some of your questions on materials, we'll get into answering some of those questions. Okay, so let's go on to meet the Maker. The Maker is the machine that will take your crafting heart away. The Maker cuts everything the Explore cuts and so much more. It offers more crafting tools, which allows you to dream big. So my first machine was a Maker, and I wanted the Maker because I sew. And so I was working on small project doll size clothes for my daughter, and I was like, oh my gosh, the Maker will be perfect because it will cut out the clothes for me, the material for me, so then I can just sew it rather than having to put the pattern down and everything. So the Maker is what I had to have the Maker for the sewing, the rotary blade that allows me to cut material on it. So the Maker cuts over 300 different materials. So you can do the cardstock, you can do the vinyl, and you can do the iron-on and all the specialty materials. But the Maker has a stronger mechanism inside of it. So it puts more pressure on what you're cutting, which allows you to cut so many more types of materials. The Maker also uses a function called a quick swap tool. So you don't have to purchase the wheel housing every time you change your blade. You can just change out the blade. So you can change between the scoring, the engraving, and the debossing, and a few other effects. And all those are sold separately from the machine. Now, the Maker really does give you like your freedom is unbounded on what you can do. So on the Maker, you can cut fabric without having to have it bonded. So if you have an Explore, you would first have to bond your fabric to either a tearaway or some type of sturdying material. With the Cricut Maker, you have a rotary blade that you can use and the fabric mat, and it will cut. It just slices through fabric. It's so beautiful. And then you can do like some wood, some very thin basswoods and leathers and things like that for things, like these creative earrings. You can cut the chipboard and balsa wood and create these types of puzzles. It still does your iron-on, your vinyl, all those types of materials can still be cut, and your cardstock can all be cut on the maker. And so, you've got lots of materials that you can use on the maker. And so Aries, yes, the machine that is best for wood and engraving is the maker machine. So that really takes your crafting to a level that the Explore doesn't do. So with the engraving, you can do engraving on little like plexiglass key charms. You can engrave on wood. There's a debossing tool, so you can deboss designs on your Maker 3 and your Maker. So if you're not interested in all of those different types of materials that you can use, like that the Maker 3 takes you up a whole notch of creativity, then the Explore Air is a perfect machine for you. If you're into card making or you're into t-shirt making and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be making puzzles and cutting out leather earrings, then the Explore Air machines are the right machines for you. So that's what I love about the Cricut and the different types of machines really work with you as the user and which machine is right for you. So the Cricut 3 is the powerful, versatile, and revolutionary machine. And the Cricut 3 does everything that your Cricut Maker does. It uses the same tools. So just like the Explore Air tools are compatible with Explore 3, the Maker tools are also compatible with the Maker 3. So you can use both of those tools throughout your machine. So if you upgrade to a 3, you can still use your tools. And the Maker 3 works with our smart materials. And again, the smart materials, you can cut up to 12 feet in one go. And it allows you to cut faster using smart materials versus regular vinyl. But again, you can use all of your regular materials in the Maker 3. The Maker 3 retails for $3.99. And so those are some of the key features there. Now, the Maker 3 does again let you do those long cuts using smart materials. So these creating little labels on cubby holes or different places in your home, super easy with removable vinyl. You can create all these projects. If you would like to make a hello sign in front of your home or your business, look at that long cut you can do with your 3 machines. The Maker 3, which we didn't go over, has this great perforation blade that you can use. It's only with the Maker or Maker 3. It's a perforation blade that lets you create tabs that you can tear off. But again, your Maker 3 can do all of your, sorry, my mouse is really sensitive today. It allows you to cut with, your leathers, your basswoods. It allows you to do your iron-ons. All of those materials are compatible with the Maker 3. Do I have to have a mat for the Maker 3 when making a shirt? So if you're using smart materials, you don't need to use a mat. You can just load it right in and it will cut it. So that's how I did my t-shirts for my family reunion. I just put a roll of smart material in and I cut my 9 t-shirts out. If I were using just regular vinyl, I would then, a regular iron-on, I would put that on maybe my 12 by 24 inch mat and send it through there that way. Can the Maker use smart tools and materials? The original Maker is not compatible with using smart materials without a mat. So if you're using a Maker and you're using smart materials, you just want to use your mat and you put your smart materials on your mat in your Maker. So the benefit of the smart materials is that you can put them in a machine without using a cutting mat. And if we have time, hopefully we'll have time, and I'll be able to do that. Okay, so and show you guys how to do that. So how does it all work together? How do you get those ideas from your head to your hands and your heart? How does that work together? Cricut has created this wonderful ecosystem of machines, software, and supplies that all are designed to work together. And it all starts with Design Space. So Design Space is Cricut software that works on a desktop or laptop. You can use it on a tablet or phone device, and it all works together. So you have one Cricut ID. So that's the ID that you're identified with. And no matter which platform you're using, tablet, laptop, desktop, or phone device, you only need your one Cricut ID, and it'll work across all those different platforms and with how many different machines you have. So if you have a Cricut Joy and a Maker, you just need one Cricut ID. Now, the really cool thing that I think is really fascinating and exciting about Cricut is if you're using, if you're making if you have a lot of different machines and you're doing more of a production line of it than just home use, you can have multiple windows of Design Space open on your desktop or your laptop and feed those to different machines. So you can have 3 different windows of Design Space open and 3 different machines going at the same time. So but again, you only need one Cricut ID. And when you sign up for your Cricut ID and download Design Space, so again, Design Space is the software behind the hardware. And Cricut really wanted to give crafters a platform that would support their creativity and remove limitations on what, how, and where you craft. So Design Space allows you to create your own designs. You can select from the Cricut Access library of over 200,000 images and growing every day. And you can upload your own designs from elsewhere. So if you've gone somewhere else and created designs or purchased designs, you can upload those designs into Design Space. So Design Space is completely free. There's no charge for having Design Space or using Design Space. We do have Cricut Access options for you. So you could use the free option, which gives you access to some images and fonts. And then there's the standard option, which gives you unlimited access to all of our images and fonts and projects. And then the premium account, which gives you a few more benefits than the standard account. So wherever you're entering into your Cricut journey, you have a plan that will work for you. So if you are doing your own designs in a program, Procreate or Illustrator, and you just want to upload your designs and cut them, then you wouldn't use a Cricut Access. If you are doing a lot of creation and want to use a lot of different images, then you might just use the standard Cricut Access to find images that work for you. So now let's talk. I'm just going to go through, and Anita, if you have any questions on the machines or Design Space or Cricut Access before we go into the materials, go ahead and shout those out me. So Amy, yes, the Cricut Maker uses the perforation blade. So you do want to, the Explorer doesn't have the perforation blade, that's just on the Maker. Good material questions, we're going to answer
Can
those.
You, Kesley,
yeah.
Would you mind kind of letting them know how Cricut Access works and that the subscription is not necessary?
Yes, so Cricut Access, let me go back a screen here. So the way Cricut Design Space works, so it's like 3 parts. You have your machine, whether it's a Joy or an Explorer or a Maker, and it doesn't matter really how old the machine is. As long as you can connect it to your computer, you can use Design Space. And Design Space is the software that communicates to your machine. So Design Space is think of it like think of Design Space like your Gmail, I get, or your email account. You know, you type an email and you send it and somebody else reads it. So Design Space is that software piece that you input information into, and that information goes out to your Cricut machine. So in Design Space, you can have your own projects, and you can have other projects that Cricut offers for you. And those are part of Cricut Access. So Cricut Access is a monthly program. You pay for it monthly, and you can have access to all of the different images and projects that are already in Cricut Design Space. So if you're working on a family reunion, let's say, and you're going to a beach house and you need a shark, an anchor, a whale, all kinds of different images you want to work with, you could just go into Cricut Access and search around and find hundreds of images that you can then work on your project with. So you can use all of the different images. If you have a subscription, then you use those images as long as you have the subscription. If you don't have a subscription, you can purchase images as you go along. So you can just say, oh, I just need a shark this month. And then next month, maybe you need a dolphin, and you can go grab that dolphin image. And you just purchase that image a la carte. And then that's your image to use in Design Space. Now we do have angel, okay, I'm not thinking of the right word, but an angel policy on using the Cricut images for your own projects and selling them and things like that. So you definitely want to check out the angel policy, as well as we do have some images that are licensed images, like Disney and Hello Kitty and things like that. So Design Space is free. Design Space is a software. There's no charge to use Design Space. It's completely free. It's when you use the library of digital images that there's a subscription or a pay by use type of thing. Okay. So I hope that answered it. I see some questions. Once I have Design Space, am I able to sell my designs projects without any copyright problems? So again, read our angel policy on the Cricut website as far as using images to resell. You can design your own images, upload them, and cut them out, and then there would be no copyright from that. But definitely check out the angel policy.
One other thing I would like for you to kind of address for everyone, the welcome sign that was pictured, what
Yes.
material was used for that? Because I didn't see it, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I will answer that one. I was saving that one for when I got into the materials. Yeah. And the other thing about Design Space is you can change your access, your Cricut Access program. You can change that at any time. When you first get your machine, you have a 30-day free trial. And I encourage you to use the heck out of that 30-day free trial, because you'll explore and you'll see lots of cool things that you can do and make in the Cricut Access. After the 30 days, you can select which program you want to do. If you don't find that you use Cricut Access, then you don't have to purchase a Cricut Access subscription to use Design Space. You can just say, cancel that on the website. I'm not interested in continuing it. Or you can say, oh my gosh, this is the best thing. I love having all of these images at my fingertips to use. So it's really up to you. And that's what I love about the whole Cricut system is they've got so many different ways that you can work it so that it works best for you. So before I go on to materials, I see one question. Can I use any kind of cutting blades for the Cricuts? And Cricut blades are specific to the machines, and each family of machine has its specific blades. So there are some blades like the fine point blade you can use in your Explore and your Maker, but Cricut Joy has its own unique set of blades, and the Maker, all the additional blades for the Maker are specific to the Maker machines. Okay. So let's talk about the materials. So the Cricut materials, there's a huge selection of Cricut materials and other materials that are available for you to use. All of the Cricut materials have been tested through Cricut. And so the settings in Design Space for your cut settings, your pressure, how many passes they need, all of that has already been calibrated through the testing the materials go through Cricut. So there are two types of vinyl. There's a removable vinyl and a permanent vinyl. And so people ask all the time, when do you use removable? When do you use permanent? So I think of removable as, oops, I didn't want this here. I'm going to take this off. So removable vinyl is, it can be removed. It doesn't leave any adhesive on the wall or where you put it. You can just peel a corner of it and pull it off. So it's sort of like a commitment-free personalization, or if you're renting a space or you just need something temporary, you would want to use removable vinyl. And then if you want to do something permanent, or it's going to be outdoors, or it's going to get washed a lot, then you want to use permanent vinyl. And permanent vinyl will last and last. It's water resistant and it's UV resistant. It lasts up to 3 years, even outdoors. And I have to tell you, I have planters I made for my son's graduation that say 2019. They're still going strong. So I have to peel those, try and pull those off so I can do those for my daughters and replace it 19 to 22. So, but my point is that they've been outside through all the weather, all these years, and I'll still be able to get a little corner of it, pull it up. My planter might be a little faded where those numbers were, around those numbers, but I'll be able to replace it and put 22 next to the 20. So it really does, the permanent vinyl really does last. Now, when you're using the vinyls, this is when you want to use transfer tape. And transfer tape was specifically made to transfer your vinyl designs from the backing to the project surface. So it's a clear gridded plastic. It's got adhesive on one side, and you place it over your design like this, and you rub it down, and then you peel off the backing of the vinyl so that you're just left with the design on the transfer tape, and then you can transfer it to your blank surface. So it really holds those little pieces together. Like I have this sample here. It's a dad joke loading, and it has all these little tiny squares. And when I use transfer tape, it holds all those pieces together. So the transfer tape really keeps everything where you want it to go and how you want to use it. Then we have iron-on vinyl. Now, iron-on vinyl works with a heating system. So you have to use either a home iron or our easy presses, and we have a bunch of different easy presses that make putting iron-on vinyl on a t-shirt, on a bag, I put iron-on vinyl on wood. Like you can put it everywhere. And I use my little mini presses behind me there. And I use that to get into small spaces, but then I also have a bigger one when I'm doing t-shirts. So iron-on vinyl does not use transfer tape. It actually kind of has the transfer tape on it. So you just would cut the design and peel away what you don't need. And then we have infusible ink heat transfers, and this permanently transfers the image into your project. So it infuses the color into your project. So I have a mug here. It started off as a white mug, and then I cut my design out of infusible ink, and I just put that right onto my mug, and it can go through the washer, the dryer. It's not going to come off. It's going to stay there. Yeah.
This Felicia, when
Yeah.
Trying to show them your items. You're still sharing your screen, so they may not see the mug and the other item you showed with the transfer tape.
Okay, I will show that again at the end then when I finish this. Thank you, Felicia. So this is the easy press that will heat up your iron-on and your infusible ink materials. And we also offer lots of different ways for you to learn. We have a design space orientation class. We do actions in design space, all with Michael's, and we have project-based learning. So every Monday at this time, almost, not always, but Monday at this time, we are doing a Cricut class with Michael's, and a lot of our classes are still available on YouTube, on the Michael's YouTube channel. So if you ever want to go back and watch a class, we have lots of classes that you can go back and watch and get more information. So let me show you these different things. This was created with infusible ink. So I cut my infusible ink design out. I cut out the snowflake, and then I used the mug press to put this onto the mug. But I do this on t-shirts. You can use infusible ink. It just has to be a treated surface, especially treated surface. And this was my vinyl with all these little pieces. So I put transfer tape on it so I could pick this up off the backing and move this from one to the other. And I'm seeing lots of great questions here. So why don't I try and answer? I'm just going to start. We'll start somewhere and we'll start answering questions. We have a couple minutes left. And yes, thank you, Lena. That the mug was a class. We did a hot cocoa stand. That was a fun class. So what is the best to use Cricut 3 infused ink or vinyl for t-shirt designs? It really depends on what you're trying to do. Let me grab some designs here. Sorry, I'm running around. So this is a t-shirt that I made with infusible ink. You got this. It's fun because it has all the different colors in it. And then this is just a t-shirt I made with, this was one of my first t-shirts I made with iron-on. So this was my very first t-shirt I made. My daughter was on a lacrosse team. We were the Ducks. And then you get better, you get more experience, you get more comfortable with layering vinyl, using multiple colors, using, glitter vinyl and things like that. So don't be afraid. Like right now, you may just be right here, and that's okay. That's okay, because you're going to just keep growing and keep learning how you do it. And you can use infusible ink on any of the different machines. You can use infusible ink on the Cricut Joy has little infusible ink cartridges, not cartridges, but infusible ink, the right size. We have, this is what infusible ink starts off like in these packages. And when you take it out of the package, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, the color is faded. When you heat it up, it becomes vibrant. So that's the infusible ink. So, and you can use that with any of the other ones. What are the steps to do print and cut on a maker? I can't go over that live here, but we do have some videos on Cricut's website about doing print then cut. You can do print then cut on the Explore machines and the Maker machines, just not on your Cricut Joy. Do you have any suggestions on how to center design on a t-shirt? Any good tools? So I use, I usually will fold my t-shirt in half, and I'll get a seam line down the center. And then I created this little guide on my Cricut. I actually cut it out and drew the lines on my Cricut, and I use this to line up my design on my t-shirt. But I usually just will fold my design in half and find the center and then place it on the line. And I do a 3 or 2 finger from the collar down. So what is best to use Cricut, the infused ink? Okay, so I answered that one, got that one done. I've been having problems with print and cut. I've tried everything. It keeps saying error reading print marks. So that's that if that happens, so some sticker paper might be shiny. So when you print on it, the outline of the print then cut box, it reflects on it. So you can put tape over that, like a matte tape, a matte. That was, somebody suggested that to me and I did it and it worked. It's just, I have like Scotch tape and it's like a matte, so it's not so reflective. You also might want to close the top of your machine when you're doing it. Just, I think probably play around with a couple different settings, the lighting, because it does have the way the tool works is it finds those lines and it I can't think of the word, but it finds those lines and it uses that to register where to do your cut line. So if it can't find those lines, it doesn't know where to cut. Do you have that iron for Cricut Design? I'm not sure what you mean by that iron. I have a couple different irons. This is the mini press and it is my favorite. Like I said, my son went to college with a Cricut machine and he also took a mini with him. I'm not sure if he uses it for his clothes or when he's crafting. Let's see. When using the infusible ink onto fabric, does the design look like an iron on vinyl with some things? No, the way infusible ink works is it actually has a chemical that releases and the design, it goes into the fabric. So you do have to use special fabrics that has a treatment on it so it can accept that color and you can't even feel it. Like my mug, if this were vinyl, I would be able to feel the vinyl on my mug. It's totally into the mug. So you need to use like Cricut has t-shirts specifically for infusible ink, t-shirts, cosmetic bags, tote bags, all kinds of yummy cuteness that you can use with the infusible ink. I'm seeing so many good questions about infusible ink. So I think it's like 100% polyester shirt. I threw it under my desk. Let me check.
It needs to be at least 98% polyester.
Thank you. I knew Anita would know that one. and you do, so it's 98% polyester. This is the Cricut shirt. And you just use the heat press and you do need a hotter setting when you're doing infusible ink. You definitely need a hotter setting. And so that's why you want to use the easy press. You can get away with like the first couple of times with iron on vinyl, you'll use your home iron and then you'll be like, okay, I'm ready to go to the next step. And that's when you just grab an easy press and it makes ironing on t-shirts so easy.
We do have a lot of questions still about access on if you have access, then discontinue it. Are you still able to find your projects? And that if you could address that, it would answer a lot of questions.
Okay, great. So if you have Cricut Access and you decide maybe you were doing the standard version and you're like, you know what, I'm going on vacation, I'm going to shut it off. And then you come back from vacation and you have, or you find like you're not using it. So you don't want to continue with the subscription, but you've created projects using Cricut Access images. Your projects are still there. The images are still there. When you go to make that project again, it will say, hey, you're using a Cricut Access image. It's $4.99 or 99 cents for that image. And you purchase that image. It's a one-time purchase, and then you have access to that image. So you can create, and even you can try out images you can go into the Cricut Access library and see a whole bunch of images that you might want to work with, grab a few of them, find the one that works for you, and then purchase just that one image. If you're using if you're at the free level of Cricut Access. So I'm trying to think of is there anything else specific that would answer that were questions?
Most of them were just, how does that work?
Okay. Yeah, we do really go over that in our if you go back, and I wish I had a link to one of our classes, our Design Space Basics classes, because the Intro to Design Space, we talk about that a lot, and that is on the Michael's YouTube channel. We have quite a few of those classes. So any of those will answer those kinds of questions and give you more information about it. So this is a good question. How many, and we're over time, Felicia, do we need to go, or should I keep answering?
You could probably give about 10 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. I can do that. Kathy's asking, how many times can the mats be used? Are they reusable and washable? Kathy, that is such a great question. The mats can be used until you just can't use them anymore, which it just depends on how much you use them. There's not like, oh, they last 6 months, they last a year. I have mats that are so, like, if you look at it, you go, oh, you couldn't possibly cut with that. It couldn't have any stick left on it, but it does. I keep some wipes handy, and I wipe my mat clean so it doesn't get lint or any hair on it, or, any fibers or anything like that. So I wipe that clean, and then I let it dry, and I put my cover on it. And then, so you put a little cover on your mat, and then you can just keep using it and using it and using it. It doesn't, you can even use it with Dawn soap and wash it, and it'll come back to life. So they really are, they last forever. But sometimes they don't last forever. I say they last forever. They'll last for a really long time. And once you just don't have any more stick on it, that's when you need to replace your mat. I don't recommend doing you'll see online people like, oh, I restuck mine, I use this spread. I don't recommend doing that, because it can get stuck in your machine and gunk up your machine, and then that voids the warranty on your machine. So I don't encourage that. Wash your mats, keep them clean, keep your cover on. They're not too expensive, and they're not too expensive to have to replace, even if you use them a ton every 6 months. So, and I think I use them for like a year before they really run out. Are there odor and toxicity concerns for someone who is chemically sensitive? Does the vinyl have a strong odor? Does the machine put out an odor? The machine does not put out an odor. I've never noticed an odor on my machine. The mug press certainly does put out an odor, and it's recommended to use it in a ventilated area. So if you have any concerns about odors or things like that, I would definitely, the mug press, you definitely want to use in in an open area. But like when I'm just pressing my iron and doing vinyl in that way, it doesn't. I don't recommend, I don't think you're supposed to microwave mugs with vinyl on them, because there could be some chemicals in that. So if you want to be able to microwave your mugs, use the infusible ink. Do you also need a light color shirt for infusible ink? Yes, infusible ink, you want to use a white shirt. It won't show up on dark. Now you could infuse the color on something else and then sew it on the shirt, get really creative. So you could do that, but infusible ink works best on a white or cream surface. Yes, will there be a class that actually shows how to do layering? In our Actions in Design Space class, we go over layering, and I think that's on the 31st at the end of the month. Do you have to use a Cricut mat? I have a self-healing mat. Yes, you do need to use a Cricut mat, because you need it for the mats are thinner than a self-healing mat. They're much thinner than a self-healing mat. They have the adhesive on the mat, so your paper, your vinyl will stick to the mat, and it's the right width for your machine. I would not recommend using a mat that is not a Cricut mat, because you could certainly damage your machine, and then that would void your warranty. So I use the Cricut mat, and I work on a self-healing mat. My craft surface is a self-healing mat. So that I do work on a self-healing mat, but I would not put a self-healing mat on my machine. So does the tape on the mat have a purpose? It actually does have a purpose. When I get a new mat, I mark the front of my clear plastic, so I know which side to put down on the mat and which side to keep out. So I have mats with washi tape or whatever I had handy at the time. So that's my little blue piece. Good question. Very observant, guys. Let's see. Can you use a mini press for large projects? You certainly can. I use it for like smaller projects, like shoes. Someone was asking, how do you get something on a shoe? I would use the mini press. It's great for hats. It's good for like little areas or unusually shaped areas, but I use it a lot. I make cheer bows, I have to iron something on that's 24 inches. And so I'll use that sometimes for that. So yeah, the mini press is great. And you can even, if you're doing a super large project, you can use heat tape, like this tape that heat tape, and you can tape down your project and then move your iron around. I prefer to use a bigger one. It makes it easier. Yes, this Zoom is being recorded and it will be available for you to watch. You'll get a link to that. There is one more class between now and November 3rd, and not November 31st. There is the Introduction to Design Space is our next class, and that's on the Michael's website. So yes, we have the Michael's website is a great resource for all of our different classes, and the YouTube channel is also a great resource for classes we did last year. And they're fun classes. So what mat is best for glitter paper? I just use my green standard mat for glitter paper.
Did you go over the welcome sign?
I did.
Okay, sorry,
yeah,
I'm concentrating on chat.
That's great. The welcome sign, if it's going outside, I would use permanent vinyl. So I would do that on the outside and use permanent vinyl, and use, I would use smart vinyl if I could, so that I could cut it super long. And yes, Mona, your design space can be used on a phone, on a tablet device, and on your desktop or laptop. Now, the only difference, there are a few differences. Your desktop and laptop, probably 85% of users use a desktop or laptop majority of time because it's such a bigger screen and it's easier to work with. So I like to use my laptop or my desktop because I have more space to work with. Rodriguez, what supplies do you suggest I should purchase to start using my maker? I want to learn how to use all the features. Great question. So when you get started, you definitely need a paper trimmer. And if you're planning on using any smart materials, the Cricut paper trimmer does 13 inches. So this is definitely a starter tool. And you absolutely need to have a weeding tool. This helps you take out like the little pieces of your vinyl or your iron-on. It's really super helpful. And then I would start with what project you want to make and get the materials for that project. So I wouldn't like go out and say, oh, buy all 9 blades when you first get your machine, because you may never use the perforation blade. But if you're big into making cards and you want to make some Valentine's Day cards for people and you want to give them like a little perforation window that they can reveal a Valentine treat, then that would be, the perfect time to get the perforation card and to try that. And I think we are up against our time, and these are such great questions. Please feel, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. Cricut has a great Facebook group called Cricut Official. If you have questions, there's a good place, or you can find me on Facebook and I'll try and answer your questions. But you guys have asked a lot of great questions, and I hope we have answered a lot of those questions. If you've got a new machine, make sure you sign up for our next classes. We have classes all the way up through April. I don't think they're on yet, but keep your eye posted that they're coming. So Thank you all so much for your time today. I apologize for going over, but you asked so many fabulous questions. Thank you. Thank you, Anita and Felicia.